Well, welcome, guys, to another part. December 22nd, 3 days before Christmas. We're back. I've had a very, very long day. I last made a video like 12 hours ago. I woke up super early this morning because my sleep was all thrown off, and then I ended up going to bed really early, but then waking up in the middle of the night. Anyway, so yeah, I recorded Final Fantasy. It's the winter solstice today. And the last video I did was just before the sun came up. The sun is just set. And we're back, and we'll be playing Tomb Raider here. The thing is, earlier in the month, I think I missed an episode, and then it sort of shunted everything along. I didn't want that to happen again, so we'll do 2 in one day. It's not a problem. And yeah, I got a lot to talk about, a lot going on here, really. First of all is... well, to recap the story, exciting stuff in the last part. We found the chamber for the silver box. It is nearby the hidden city, just as we had been theorizing the whole time. It was here at the Cenote, a mystical, magical place, defended by some monstrous warriors, the Yaaxil. Now, I believe Lara might have a note about them. Did we watch it in the last part? Lara's notebook, probably, it'll be in. Oh, no. I think I looked for it and I couldn't find one, right? Yeah, that was a little bit of a shame. Well, anyway, so we met these horrible defenders. They were fighting us. We killed loads of them. And then, once we got the door open, they just let us in. We saw this thing about this heron and an eye, I think it was. We looked at where the box should have been, and it was not there. Something reacted while we were in the room. There was a tremor. The place collapsed. The guys got angry again. Who knows what they are or what they're thinking or what they're doing. And we fled, and we're back at the city now. Now, the whole time, I thought we were being told that this was near the barracks and we were going to go rescue Unaratu. Well, we still have that to do. But yeah, so I explored that whole area, and we only had like 50% complete. Less than that, I think. It's this long winding road here. You'll see I'm now at 100%, so I do have a little bit of a montage for you guys. This one's really short. I cut it together pretty efficiently, and even the gameplay didn't take that long. So I played for about 40 minutes and cut it down to 10. So we're just going to have a nice fly through here. There was also, by the way, this place, the Mountain Temple. And it's 100% complete because there is nothing to collect there. It's another one of these little zones like this one here, the Trial of the Eagle. They're posing on the world map as areas of the world, but they're not really. But yeah, so let's watch through this footage, and that would just be the start. There's all kinds of things to talk about here today. So let's start it up. This is me about an hour ago. I figured as we'd start out, I'd wear a different outfit. Again, one that was like legal for the area. I'm still not sure whether you can wear anything you like for the Cenote, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I picked the Wraith skin. I honestly can't remember. We've done, what, 10 parts of this now? Did I already demo this? I mean, this outfit is definitely from the previous game. I'm sure that this is what you unlock in the other game for the Baba Yaga DLC. Oh, let's mute the other game there. There we go. So you guys should just be listening to the video here. So the Cenote, I was really excited to start out. I've left this in. I remember diving down, so I just jumped. So I just went for it. And no, that is not the right thing to do, as it so happens. I'll turn it down a bit more. That seems a bit loud to me. Yeah, that is not the right thing to do. I just got myself killed. You kind of got to walk along a pathway a bit, and then you'll be able to... make the dive. So here you can see I'm breaking these skulls. The reason I'm doing that is, you remember there are 2 challenges. One for sunken treasure. You can see the 2 stars on the map there. One for sunken treasure, and the other is to like pull down effigies or break effigies. And we played the whole thing and I only found 1 effigy. So I'm thinking to myself at this point, this is a bit odd. I don't know what they look like. They look like skulls and they look like stuff strapped to wood. But none of that counted for the challenge, and I'll show you more of that in a second. So we dive in. I thought I'd leave that footage. I mean, come on, that's such a cool... Even Lara says again, this is incredible. I actually think that would probably kill you in real life. Like, if you fall too fast, water basically becomes like concrete, doesn't it? Doesn't really help you very much. But hey, so challenge number 1 was sunken treasure. Now, my assumption on the previous part was that, because there's a lot of swimming in this section, you just find the chests as you go along. But no. They're all in this lagoon right here at the beginning. All of them. And it's a total waste me doing this challenge in this way because we're already full on jade. So I essentially get no resources from this. Really, we wanted to sell some jade before this, but, you know, at this point I jumped off. I'm nowhere near the campsite. I couldn't really easily go back, blah, blah, blah. So there is an effigy there. So that's our second effigy. The other one I got in the previous part. Now, I sort of knew there'd be an effigy here because if you remember on the last part, when we dinged the challenge, it put the pip here. As in, oh, this is where the devs expected you to start the challenge. So I knew there was going to be one. Now, here's the thing. I sort of cheated a little bit on this. One of the reasons this is quite efficient and I can get around fairly quickly is I did look up a guide online. And what I did was, instead of watching a YouTube video or reading walls of text, I just found a map with, like, everything marked on it. Now, that was really good, because that still leaves you to look around, you know, with your own eyeballs. But it gives you a sense of where things are, and I just had it on my other monitor. Anyway, this website with the map, I think it was just called videogameguides.com, which is kind of crazy to me. It didn't have any information about the effigy challenge, which is just bizarre. It suggested that you beat the whole effigy challenge here. So I'm looking really carefully. I find this wall that we can break, and it turns out there's a treasure map. So check it out. We could have, in the previous part, if this was like a really carefully structured Let's Play, I could have just got that map, and that is in-game now, marked everything off for me. So it was really just a process of running along, following the map, and just getting... And it's nearly everything I missed are just tiny little things slightly off the beaten path. That was all it was. And there are some interesting relics here. But I'm going quite slow because I don't have knowledge about the effigies. I've actually cut a lot out at this point already, where I'm scanning around that lagoon looking desperately to see if I can find one. So we go, a knight's moiron, a conquistador's comb moiron.
Detailed engravings on this helmet in its unusually good condition could mean this helmet was worn more as an accessory rather than protection in combat.
And this is going to be a lot of stuff, basically, from the Spanish.
Perhaps Lopez used it to project an air of importance.
And often in relation to Lopez. So Lara thinks maybe Lopez himself was wearing that. I think that's a bit of a leap, maybe. But we will find something that Lopez actually read. And I don't know if any... What are the odds there are really devout, really knowledgeable Christians in my audience? Because I'm not exactly... You know, myself, I'm not a religious man. I don't really talk about that stuff very much. But you guys might, if there are any, you guys might have something to teach me here, because we're going to get a really cool artifact in a second that prompted me to go to Wiki, but there was just so much information. I figured, never mind. I'll instead show you guys a different Wiki thing. Well, I'm sort of jumping ahead here a little bit. But yeah, so like a good chunk of the stuff was here in these underwater passages. There was another air pocket here. The camera looked really good there as I swam up, right? That wasn't actually me. That was all automatic controls. That was the game itself set up. And here I see this document, a warning.
Taken from the walls of the Cenote. It is simply a large X and the word run.
So we found that as paper. I don't know whether that's a game limitation thing, whether we were actually meant to find a rubbing on the wall. But I'm cutting out just so much footage here, guys, of me just looking around everywhere for these effigies, constantly. And finally, pretty deep in the cave, I see that telltale yellow glow when I pressed Q for my survival instincts. And there's another one. So this is number 3. And in retrospect, it's so funny. Okay, now I basically don't have to worry about effigies again at all now for a long time. But I'm going to keep scanning, and I'm going to keep looking over and over and over and over again, which is going to be pretty brutal. But from here, we do get this campsite. You guys might remember me grabbing this on the last part. Now, though, because I already did the ship tomb, we can skip back into the ship tomb area. That's exactly what I used that campsite for, because there were 2 relics around the pirate ship that I missed. First was right here at the entrance of the tomb. I don't know if you guys remember this room, but I did check around this staircase, but I didn't check the left, because I'm a dummy. I only checked on the right. And here we learn a little bit more Quechua. Ma'am, sorry.
This seems to be some kind of primitive sculpture of a human.
I love this guy. There's something about his pose. He's just kind of cute. And I thought I'd leave a bit of this footage in, 'cause there's no hidden information here to find. I just thought it was quite nice. Almost like something I'd like to make myself. I always like the idea of doing lots of arts and crafts and stuff around Christmas. I don't know what it is, but that's what I was thinking as I picked that thing up. It's obviously not very Christmassy at all, but it's that time of year. So yeah, then there's a relic way up on the ship. Now, I was looking for ages for this. So around the ship, in fact, here, I'm just going to pause real quick. Around the ship, all right, there are pools of water, obviously. You know, it's sort of semi-submerged in water still. For the entrance, you find yourself in a pool of water, and for the exit, you find yourself in a pool of water. But there's actually a third pool of water, and it's like separated by like wooden barriers. And the only way to get into that one is to dive off of this here. And as far as I know, there's nothing else going on in this little bit of water, except a relic in a treasure chest. It's a rusty sword.
Even rusted out, you can tell this is a quality weapon. It was likely manufactured in Toledo. The city was renowned for their steelwork.
So we've heard about Toledo a few times. I can't remember, but was that written on the ship? Was that the word that was written on the name of the ship? Had Toledo on it, maybe, or something? Anyway, so this was a pain as well, to find the hidden information. What it wants me to do is look at the, like, dents in the blade. But when I finally proc it, it's when it's not even on camera.
The notches on the blade suggest several battles.
See? Like, I can't even see the notches when that procced. I don't know, man. I have to assume it's mouse and keyboard, it's the port, something like that. It would not surprise me if when we're collecting relics in these last two areas, because that's it, by the way. There's Paititi, which is full of stuff, and I've never in my life got everything there. And then there's basically two more areas. So at one of these upcoming relics, I'll probably find a thing. So here, I lucked into this. I was trying to pick up that bug, and Lara started swinging at this wall, and I was like, oh god. So this is just before the first water wheel. And here we find a rosary.
This rosary has 6 decades instead of the usual 5. A very ornate example of the Brigantine version. There appears to be an engraving.
Okay, so this is the Christian thing I was talking about here. So I went to Wiki. Like, I'm familiar of a rosary. What I didn't realize is that each of these things on it is like symbolic for like a different prayer or a different idea. Do I still have the tab? I do still have the tab open. So one of them is like the sign of the cross. One of them is the Apostles' Creed. One of them is the Lord's Prayer, the Hail Mary, the Glory Be. I don't know. There's so much here. It's crazy to see how much like history and like mythology and legend and nonsense, let's be real, there is built into this. I mean, I think it's quite interesting. It's just the right thing to talk about on Tomb Raider. I don't know whether this is like totally boring to someone who goes to church every life of their week, though, and maybe actually gets this like nonsense taught to them. I say taught in air quotes here. But, well, I shouldn't say that, should I? I mean, you are literally learning. And the wiki page just goes on and on and on. And in the end, it goes on about, you know, how to wear the rosary, rosary-based devotions. It's like some big Roman Catholic thing. You can still buy them. It exists in Anglicanism, Lutheranism. But if you scroll down enough, it starts going on about, like, mysteries. There's all, like, these, I guess, mysteries prayer schedule. Traditionally, the full rosary consisted of praying all 15 traditional mysteries, joyful, sorrowful, and glorious together. Alternatively, a single set of 5 mysteries can be prayed each day, according to the following convention. So, based on the day of the week, you need to do a different mystery or something? I have no idea. I mean, honestly, I'm out of my depth. It's quite fascinating. I'm like a complete tourist here. Anyway, in Tomb Raider here, I guess people now have... I mean, what even is a decade? She pronounced it decades, didn't she? I don't know. But this has 6 instead of 5. So it's Brigantine. I don't know. It's really weird. And actually, I'll tell you what, when I... you know, I don't have a bookmark to Wikipedia. I Google a thing and I type wiki with it, right? I'm sure a lot of people do that. Anyway, Google autofilled. And when I typed rosary, 6 decades, I think, or I typed rosary Brigantine, the autofill came up with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So that leads me to think this is quite obscure, whatever this is. But yeah, so I couldn't quite figure out what this was. Kind of interesting. Anyway, there's hidden information. It's not going to be about any of the stuff I just rambled about, which is why I've got this on pause. So check this out here. If we hit play. And look, I don't mean to be too insulting or ignorant. They are, look, it was written with Lopez. So this was something Lopez himself actually had, a very devout man. I don't mean to be too ignorant or insulting here, but I just find it quite fascinating, really, that's all. That basically sums me up. I think I'm not very smart. And I don't really have that much worldly knowledge. And I don't have that much discipline. But I'm very curious about things. So that's sort of the deal. Okay, right, we move on. We're in the big room. This is the last room now. This is where the final 2 effigies are, in the same room. And that's it, by the way. We're 100% after this. Very short little montage. I was curious about this door. I wanted to show this off to you guys. Obviously, in the cutscene, we saw it, like, collapsed with a bunch of rocks. Well, it looks perfectly fine and normal when we come back from the other side. By the way, no Yaaxil have attacked me through any of this. In the editing, I've skipped like quite a few rooms actually, you know, like where that like survive with a shotgun room and stuff. They're just not about now, and that door's shut. It shouldn't surprise you that the door is shut because, you know, that room only existed in cutscene form. Again, kind of feels like maybe a cut part of the game or something. I thought it would be really cool if you could explore in there by returning. And, you know, it would update in some way and there'd be some hidden relic. I think that would be really fun. But the devs, for all the weird design about collectathons, they don't seem to really actively encourage backtracking in that way a lot of the time. So, yeah, in basically 2 corners of the room with the 2 effigies. We could have got this on the first time. Missed them, as that so happens. And that's it. We're 100% now. The challenges themselves, obviously, you know, I didn't get any loot from those chests, but I did get a butt-ton of experience. So we're about to spend all of our skill points here. And so, by the way, now that that door's shut, you might wonder, well, how the hell do you get out? Well, they do sneakily add a new campfire. This was not here on the previous part of the show. But it is now, and so we can actually just travel back. Now, I think the other thing that I do here is I change our out. There you go, 100%. I'm mousing over it just so you guys can see. And the Mountain Temple. So we're going to go back in the lake. I could obviously go to a further up campsite or whatever, but I'll place us exactly where we ended the last episode. We'll do this monolith as well, which I've also looked up how to do, and I'm very disappointed in. But yeah, so that's it really. I guess I'll stop that. And now we should go straight back in game, the real game here. Let's open this up. And, oh no, not that. Wrong one. Christ, I'm clicking all over the place. I actually feel a bit ill today. I had a chicken korma for lunch / dinner about an hour, 2 hours ago. And I felt really sick ever since. I don't know what it is. I'm just looking forward to getting my sleep regular again, you know. I've just got to make it up a few more hours now and then go to bed at a normal hour. So these guys don't even understand. Is that the monolith? No, that's not the monolith. I don't actually know what that's all about, that they don't understand that. So once again, with the monolith here, it says... Oh, we can't interact with it itself. It says the waters below protect me from the waters above. And we get this circle. Now, I'm sitting there thinking this is like some special clue. Like something about the waterfall, we got to climb up or whatever. Turns out, you just swim against the floor. And you just interact at the... That's it. There is nothing special about this at all. Let's see if we can find it, at least. I mean, I don't know whether... Yeah, here, see? This is it. I mean... What? So it's just saying swim in the lake. That's all it's saying. It's not like it's in the center of the circle or anything. That's not a riddle or a clue. Is it great, Lara? Is it really? Oh yeah, I changed my outfit, by the way. We're in another new outfit now. So there you go, Monolith Rich is found, and we just wasted a ton of other potential pickups. What I want to do now is, in Paititi, find a merchant, sell some jade, get a bunch of gold from it, and we'll see what we can do. And we can also upgrade our skills here even more. I mean, look at this. 5 skill points. So, what do we want to do here? I've had a pretty good balance of... Well, no, actually, I've got a ton of green. So, we could try to finish out Serpent if we want. I kind of like the idea of getting this. This will give us focus plants. So, focus plants will improve reaction responses and slow down time while aiming. And I do like the plants in this game. So, let's grab that. That's going to cost us 2. Scales of the Serpent. Now, I already have it bound to num 4 from a previous playthrough. Back in the summer, I think I set this up. And again, I know that looks weird, but it's because I use a Logitech G600. It's from playing MMOs, and it's really nice to have a hotkey on my thumb. I love this stuff. I picked up Halo Infinite again earlier for the first time in like months, and rebound a bunch of stuff to my mouse, and it just feels so good. So this is rank 1. Rank 2 costs us 3 skill points. So does rank 3. This says focus mixture effects last longer for a longer period of time. Focus potency boosted for increased focus time when aiming on level 2. So... I mean, we have to pay the same price for both of them. Let's increase its duration rather than its potency. So that what will happen in the videos is we'll get to see a bit of the lower potency, and then we'll see it when it's upgraded later as well. So that'll be quite nice. And yeah, we're getting quite a lot of stuff here now. So should be good. Okay, and let's do weapon crafting later. We don't have to craft any weapons, because we're not going to be doing any fighting here at Paititi. Assuming we're not, like, fingered as one of the rebels and there's some chase sequence. But even then, in the previous chase sequence, we were just running away. We weren't really doing anything.
I can't carry anymore.
But yeah, here, if you see now on the UI, I now have 4 icons. We have num 5 is perception, shows things in the environment. Num 4, for me, is focus, which will slow down time while we're aiming and allow us to dodge better. And num 1 is healing. I'm pretty sure there is a final mixture as well. Well, actually, I say that. I'm not pretty sure. I'm like 50-50 on that, whether that's actually a thing. Okay. So there is a merchant in town. He's up here. So let's wander on over to that merchant. Retrieve the king's horn. Why don't I remember starting that quest? Like, what is this? Is it because I haven't started it and that icon is telling me to start it? I mean, it's right next to us, so let's just see the guy. See what he has to say.
Father, come quick. It's the Ishiki.
What do you want? We don't have time for Unuratu's rebellion right now.
Are you Kabil? Uchu sent me for the king's...
The king's horn? The call to the future? Look at the good that future's done for my present. Just go.
The cult found out my dad was making the horn. They poisoned our crops as punishment. Mom got sick. My brother Kwai went to the market to get herbs, but he hasn't returned.
That's terrible. Let me see if I can find your brother and get the herbs you need.
Thank you.
You know, I have no memory of this, really. I don't remember starting this story in this video series, and I don't remember having done it in the past either. So this could be totally new for me. By the way, I had a comment. I can't remember. It was hopefully it was in this series. It might have been in Final Fantasy. But I mentioned that I don't use headsets. I use speakers. I think it was in this series. I had a comment from one of you guys saying, wow, you don't even use a headset. How do you prevent stuff echoing back? The answer to that is I don't really. I just turn the volume down very low. And, you know, I have a good condenser microphone, which has kind of a precise area that you can speak into. But I don't really resolve that. If you speak to any of my friends on Discord, they'll routinely tell you that their voices echo back, and it's just, you know, it's a bit of a nightmare, really. So I don't mean to give the impression that that's a solved science, because it's not for me. Discord's pretty good, though. It has quite sophisticated, like, algorithms and things that are supposed to, like, dynamically mute and blah, 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 blah. I tend to find they just mess with the quality in an ugly way, but, yeah. Anyway, the reason I tell you that anecdote is during that conversation there, I just turned the game down a bit just so that it wouldn't echo. In truth, I actually can see in my settings very closely, like very, very quiet dB, and I can see it is echoing, but hopefully it's just subtle enough that you guys don't pick up on it.
Have you met Paimo, Ishiki? The fool. Thinks the gods punished him. Lazy bastard.
I've actually got this weird thing at the moment where I've got a lot of anxiety about, like, proof checking my content and stuff. So I actually don't know. It might be bad. I haven't had any comments of people saying it, so I assume it's all sorted. But to be honest, I haven't verified very much lately, just because I'm nervous about, I don't know, going too perfectionist with things or whatever. I don't know. It's a long story. So we're hearing about this guy, Ishiki. Okay, so another little story that I wanted to give you guys is about Kukulkan.
Come to plunder, outsider? Great warriors have failed the challenges. The hidden places offer rich rewards, if you survive.
What are you talking about?
I've never done this.
A test to separate the corn from the stalk. A trial that all cultist warriors must face. Nothing for the likes of you.
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Then find the path of battle. See if you and your arrogance can survive it.
Oh, wow. Oh, he's just pointing me to a tomb, is he? Okay, in this area of the city, I believe, is where we first found Itzli. You know, that very quiet, weird place that felt like it should be a combat area and it ended up not being a combat area. Are we actually right next to the entrance to that? This is what I'm talking about Paititi being really big, by the way. And in fact, is this... It looks like this might be leading us here. Well, this is quite unexpected. I didn't think we'd be doing this. I kind of really regret that we're walking down here because it's going to be more jade. And we still can't carry any. But, I mean, it's fine. Oh, it's a howler monkey. Hello. Oh, wow. This is crazy. I basically never get frame drops in this game. But here, Here I do have a few of them. I love the lighting here. This is totally different to anything I've seen in the game. It's like the jungle at sunset. Hold on. There is a relic back here. Oh, okay. By the way, I've resolved. I will spam survival instincts and waypoint things and spam the map and stuff looking for relics when it's like I'm playing off video and I'm just making a montage. But for the purposes of the normal game, I won't do that because I really do think it ruins the game. You know, if I hadn't edited that clip reel a second ago, it just would have been this the whole time, right? I take a step forwards, I open the map. I take a step forward, I press survival instincts. I take a step forward, I open the map, you know, just over and over and over and over and over, and it really is very stop-start and not that good. I'm quite happy I'm not bogging down the regular episodes with it. Alright, here we are. This is a bit gross, by the way, some kind of weird ritual area. Oh, this is good. We can learn a little bit more Yucatec. A carving of ferocious beast.
This figure must be the Owl, the mythological beast stalking the outskirts of Paititi.
Ah. I don't think that you fight anything like this in the game. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe in one of these... Is there a chance that in one of these side tombs they have like a whole enemy I've never seen? That would be pretty amazing. But I can't say I have much hope for it. It's a little bit creepy with the music here as well. Yeah, when I went back to the ship earlier as well, it put the weird action music on again. I'm sure that's a bug. I'm sure that weird adrenaline-inspiring, like, drum beat while you're on the old pirate just the galleon is not meant to be there, because it just doesn't really make any sense, and especially on a repeat visit. So there's the entrance. Is there a frog on that? Oh no, it was just the cap of the lid. We're full of wood as well. I guess I can craft some arrows. There is a Steam achievement I can get with some headshots with the bow, so maybe I'll look into that. Let's use our perception. Oh no, we can't drink while we're underwater. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in Steam achievements. The problem is with these games, none of this reboot trilogy have I actually 100%ed any of these because they're just full of like multiplayer achievements and stuff. This game does have a multiplayer thing, but I think it's just like time attacks and time trials. That'll be something we get to at the end, I think, when I'm showing off like the last few bits about the game before we put it away, like final episode type stuff. I'm quite excited about this. I got no idea what we're swimming into on this. Oh, that is cool, going through the skull. I'm keeping a pace up here because I'm scared of drowning. Oh, it's so narrow, isn't it? There's a lot of swimming in Shadow. There's so much. Oh god, a trap that's been triggered, it looks like. Oh, wow. Actually, we should be fine, because we have tier 2 breathing now, don't we? Isn't that something we unlocked? Unknown area, a challenge team.
Bit of a grim welcome. I'll have to watch my step.
Yeah, indeed. So we were kind of just goaded into this trial by that local. Oh, wow, the bats. Oh my god, guys, we just did a whole episode in a cave. I felt only to immediately jump into another one. It's alright, we got a base camp. We can escape if we like. Oh, that's not water, that's a pit of death. Okay, let's light it up. Let's just take stock of where we are here. Okay. So we're at the ossuary. And that's what the tomb is, the ossuary. Might want to keep our eye out for a treasure map or an explorer's backpack. Oh, we do have a monolith here. Considering they seem to position them at the start, mostly.
The Maya goddess Yaaxil,
Oh,
like
hell,
many
look!
goddesses in many other cultures, was also a mother deity associated with pregnancy and childbirth. The natural phenomena over which she presided included waterfalls, rainstorms, and rainbows. She was also the goddess of all crafts, such as watercolor painting and weaving, which she invented. But she wasn't exclusively nurturing. Her hair consisted of living serpents. She wore a skirt made of bones, and she had a legendary temper.
See, there's always this metal awesome stuff, you know, making her sound like a goddamn Medusa there. But yeah, so this is Yaaxil, the young one, and all that. We've heard so much about Yaaxil and Sharkshell. You know, one thing I guess I haven't really actually talked about out loud with you guys, because I don't really know the answer, but the people from Paititi.
Obsidian blades, never dull.
Oh god, obsidian blades. Do they still practice mam belief? Oh, God. Wow, we got cut during that. Like, we know that they believe in Kukulkan, the serpent deity. We know they want to do this sacrifice to Kukulkan or whatever. But to what extent do they believe in the whole pantheon? You know, are they Mayan, essentially? Is that the idea? There's a leftover Mayan civilization here in Peru where traditionally there would have been Incans. That's kind of a weird thing, isn't it? And no one's actually explicitly talked to us about that to any great extent. I assume if the game's trying to be nice and realistic, they probably have like a morphed, augmented version of that belief system that's been passed down over however many generations as the culture is twisted.
The gate's open. Now I'll just have to get over there.
Oh, so is that it? We're just trying to get over to that gate and that's the end of the tomb? Oh, so is it actually like a bit of a challenge run? I'm quite excited about that because, one, I like fast-paced action bits in a game that's usually rather slow. Two, it might mean the tomb's not very long and we can get back out into the sunlight. Okay. I like how it's still giving me that tip on occasion. Oh, this is a good swing here. Well, that wasn't too bad. That's definitely not going to be the whole tomb, for sure. More dead. This one will be shark shell, probably. I can only assume.
Come, those who imagine themselves brave and bold. See if you can survive the trials awaiting within. Those who do will have earned their status as warriors.
No, never mind. It might be that we've missed a shark shell one. Or it could simply be that it's at the end, or there isn't one. It's interesting we get like the goddess of life and fertility in front of like a death trial. Oh, this is cool. Because it's not like we're going to be doing combat or anything. It's not like they've got a bunch of Yaaxil imprisoned away here, is it? That's a nice touch. Ah, sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Please tell me you can make that, Lara. Oh, good. That right there, this is some classic Tomb Raider stuff right here. That is exactly how they would hide a puzzle, a secret in the old days. Middle of some kind of treacherous trap. Oh, that's just the way out as well, is it? Oh, never mind then. They've doubled up. Okay, so we got to get the timing right here. I like how they've reused the water wheel asset. They've probably done that in a myriad of ways, actually, haven't they? Hopefully I can climb up at any point. Yeah, looks fine. Oh, that's cool as well. A little bit of water flowing here along these trenches. Wow, that does look like an arena we'd fight in, doesn't it? I'm noticing a theme with these tombs. They all seem to be giant pillars that rise from the floor. Holy crap, okay. Oh, well, hold on. So what, you're going to make it extra hard by messing with the camera here? Well, what do you want me to do? Oh, God. Stay on the inside. It's
I need to find a way to climb that.
basic physics here. Okay, we're going this way. Go, 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 go. Oh, that was close. I basically did that trusting that if that didn't work, it was impossible. Okay, these two are spinning. That's fine.
All full up. Can't carry anymore.
Oh, God. It's so depressing, isn't it? Is that just straight up gold that I'm too full up on now? Okay, is that going to remove some of the traps, maybe, or make this worse?
The totem's arms are folded in.
Jesus Christ. It did fold them in. Why is that shut, though? That's kind of odd. Oh, you want me to go in reverse? That makes a bit more sense. I did think that this one was a little bit too easy. Oh, no, no, no.
Damn it, I took too long.
Wait, what do you mean you took too long? Okay, we're on a time limit, it seems. Oh, look, they all go a lot slower as well now. Okay, so we've got to sprint back, but then to do what? That's the question. Climb on it? Oh my God, guys, look, you can actually see that's the end of the tomb there. That's it. We just need to interact with that up at the top. So they fold in. I'm going to assume I can climb it. All right, go. All right, that's good timing right there. Oh, nicked by the fire. Good to know that's not an instant kill. We'll wait a second on that one. Oh, and again, I'm telling you, in the classic games, I'd be burning to death right here, having to spam med packs until I find like some water or something. Okay. Jump on it. No. Oh, Lara. Oh, come on. See, how is this fair? Because to be honest with you, how am I supposed to know? Oh, well, the chalk, I guess. Oh, and they're back out now. Well, hold on real quick. There is a course. There, I went over there. But what about over there? I don't really know if rolling helps. Like, what does this do? Maybe there's an additional lever I need to pull. Which... I mean, this bit all seems disabled. Which creates, like, ladders that come down or something.
Totem's arms are folded in.
Or is it just a choice of... Oh, that was really dodgy, but it's okay. Is it just a choice of which it's the same thing each time, right? Oh, what about that lever? Oh, no, that was what originally rose the totem. So what do you guys think? Oh, no! I thought I could jump over it, but I guess it makes sense that I can. Well, that's a cool death animation. Huh, okay, all right. We can pull the totem, we can pull them in. What does that afford us? Let me just verify that this lever is what pulled the totem up. Oh, wait. Oh, I think I just need to lower it again. It won't lower because the arms are out. So I just need to pull that to lower it again. That's it. That's the whole story. So I'm like overthinking it. I'm going a lot further with this than I need. I think we might get hit here. Oh, no, we're all right. I'm going a lot further than I need to with that. Basically, the timer is so forgiving. I'm expecting that I can do more, but all I really need to do is get to that lever. I'm going to go in the other direction as well. Okay.
Totem's arms are folded.
Oh, are you serious? Now you're going... Oh, wow. Bizarre. How does it know which side to disable or turn on? Like, I'm not pulling a switch to get onto one of these sequences, am I? Well, we burned a little bit of time there, so now we'll see whether it really is a tight timer. Alright, so we do it twice. That's the idea. We do it twice.
Now for the other side.
That explains the mystery. Oh, God, why have you done it this way? I'm sorry, Lara. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking there. I was thinking if I could just get to the center, I'll catch up, you know, and I'll gain all the ground I need. Thankfully, it is saved. It might get a bit faster and more intense now. All right. Oh, maybe I should have done the other one first. If this has sped up. Oh, crap. I did the roll. Okay, I think the thing with the roll is, right, with the movement, I think it is a short-term burst of movement, but it's essentially, it's a net loss of speed because you're going to slow down a lot at the end of the roll. So if you're going to do the roll, I think you have to do it at the end. Like, it has to be the last thing you do. Oh, God, careful, Laura. And then you'll be all right. Okay, I'm fully expecting this stuff to spin a lot faster now. It already felt like it was spinning a lot faster, but... And there we go. So fold them in and back to the lever one final time. I like how all the lights turn on as well. Okay, that's good. Quick little hop. This is good. This is a very different feeling tomb, you know. Same kind of idea, big central pillar doing a thing. But the gameplay is quite different to the other stuff we've been doing. Oh, come on. I made it in time. I think we broke it, Lara. Oh, God. This seems very precarious. Like it's going to suddenly...
We might be able to climb this.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What is that? All right. We just have to suspend our disbelief. Are you serious? Oh, come on. Do you know what? I think she'd be fine as well landing on that. Honestly, that's so dense with like wood and stuff down there. It almost just looks like a floor. That's weird. She's facing the other way, like they're expecting the next time me to die. So what do you want me to do? Jump to the left? Oh, God. Okay, the first jump I tried to aim to the right. The second jump I've tried to aim to the left. Third time's the charm. I guess I'll have to look more closely at exactly what they want me to do. I mean, surely it's not jump all the way. I mean, I swear I just tried to jump for that before and she didn't grab it. I'll try it again. No, she didn't. Maybe... I mean, it looks like that ledge on the right we can grab, right? I mean, obviously. I mean, I don't have to pull something into a position to... Oh, maybe I do. No, that'll probably be a zip wire to take us back down, is my thinking on that. I mean, let's try and jump all the way... Oh, what? What? That's pure nonsense. Why did she grab it that time? I did the same thing. All right, whatever, whatever. It's only a small thing. All right, nice. We have beaten the challenge. Didn't really find many pickups in here, so I'm sensing a montage later where I return. So we got the Sip's Quiver. Loose up to 3 arrows without pulling from the quiver. I seem to remember in the other games in the reboot trilogy, you could knock multiple arrows at once. That was definitely a thing. I don't know whether this exact mechanic is it. Was that it? Did we just see it there, basically? I think we did, yeah. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Bit unnecessary, maybe, considering all the other heavy firepower we have at this point. But if you really like the bow, maybe somewhat worthwhile as a thing. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's press tab real quick just to see. Is there any cash or anything on screen? I'll press Q and just scan around. No, it looks good. Okay. Of course, it's not all backtracking, because what we're going to do now is climb over here. I swear, that is the longest jump I've seen Lara do, completely unassisted, without a rope or a grapple or anything. There's the question of where we'll come out of this tomb. It's usually some fun little thing. You drop into a chamber, you didn't realise there was an exit right before your eyes. Oh, are you what? What? Look, guys, I'm deadly serious. I was spamming the hook button. It's E, okay? I was spamming it. You know what? I should set up one of those things speedrunners have where you can see my inputs. Yeah, okay, I did it again. There's something wrong with that. That's not the jump we're meant to do. Clearly, I don't know why. That looks very obvious that we should be able to do that. Thank God this game... I'll tell you what. This game has a very nice and clean checkpoint system. And I think one of the major reasons for it is because dying like that and then not having a good checkpoint to go back to must be the most frustrating thing in the world. But what else am I going to do? I mean, that's clearly the jump. I'm doing it right from this angle. Okay. She just needed me to really aim in a certain way there. Bit of a janky tomb, this one, in terms of some of the platforming. Couple of things back to back there. Scramble up this, maybe? Yeah. And then scramble up this. Okay. These sequences I'm always trying to roll, by the way. If you could see my inputs, you'd see I'd be trying to roll. But, you know, some of them you can't roll, and I'm 90% sure it's because those are the ones that are acting as loading screens. Ooh. Good. Wow, what is that? Oh, that's just a reflections of water on the surface. Didn't that look like some kind of magical force field up here? Like a dome-shaped force field. But it's just the archway.
All full up. Can't carry any more.
Oh, we're all full up, are we? Well, we can craft more then. That was something I was trying to do. Oh, I can't craft more because we're technically in Paititi, so they'll only let me wield the bow. Okay, that's all good. Let's use the campfire, I think. Wait. Is that the campfire all the way down there? All right, never mind. Let's not use the campfire. Let's just swim out. I was going to say, let's campfire and go back. I was a bit iffy about the suggestion, to be honest, because it's just going to take us back to that lagoon, a place we've been 100 times before. There's no indication we need to do it, but I kind of want to go and speak to that kid again and see like if he's got a response for me or like something extra to do. So yeah, back through the mouth and stuff. Hope you guys are doing all right, by the way. A little update on my Christmas movie. Oh, are you serious? Wait, so we can't actually get back? Oh no, we can. It's through here. My little Christmas movie thing. I've now watched The Grinch, Jim Carrey's The Grinch, which is funny because that was a movie that came out like early 2000s where I was like a teenage boy, okay? An edgy teenage boy, and I did not like the look of that movie at all. It was like one of the worst movies I'd ever want to watch. It's a movie about a little girl, okay? No teenage boy wants to watch a movie about a little girl, okay? It's about a little girl, and it's like really like exuberant and like fantastical and whimsical with like the noses of all the characters and the fashion and like just the visuals of the mountain style and so on. It's like, it's something I never in a million years would have appreciated at that age when it came out, and I just kind of never really gave it a shot. But it was really good. It worked really well. It's got actually quite a lot of fairly adult humor in there too. It genuinely is a family movie where you, as an adult, do have things that you can enjoy, and it has like one moment that actually feels sincere and heartfelt, and it's not like too mawkish or like melodramatic or sentimental. I quite like the movie. I think it sort of ruins itself structurally by having like the emotional resolution and then returning to action. I think that's always a problem with films. If you're gonna have some kind of like emotional moment, you know, and for that movie, it's basically, it's a really trite point. It's complete nonsense. But the point of that movie is that Christmas is about more than commercialism, you know. The Grinch is quite a cool character. He's like Squidward or something, you know. He's a grump, but one you identify and like. And he basically thinks, you know, it's just all commercial BS, all these people just throwing presents around, it all ends up in the rubbish. No, these are actually good criticisms of the industry, of the holiday, of its role in, you know, a capitalist society, blah, blah, blah. And at the end, he realizes, oh, Christmas will happen without presents. It's about more than that. Which is nonsense, but it's a nice moment.
It used to drift on the air, like the scent of hibiscus. That scent went away when Unuratu's husband, Sairi, died. Theirs was an infectious
Cool,
love.
all we hear about is famine
Everywhere
and...
they went, they were locked in hand. They would shop the markets together on sunny days like today, and I could swear the stalls would brighten just a bit as they passed. I had never seen two people more in love. I hope that once all of this fighting is over, that the scent of hibiscus will return.
Wow, she talked a long time there. That gives me very like Rhaegar Targaryen vibes there. Yeah, all we hear about is famine and the plants getting destroyed and ruined and stuff. But yeah, anyway, so The Grinch is good. It's got a nice message. It's a rubbish message. It's not true. Christmas is commercial nonsense. But, I mean, what do you want? It's a commercial movie. Do you want them to be some cynical, black-souled, rude, horrible old bastard that just whines about things? I mean, it's supposed to be a happy, heartfelt movie. Obviously, it's going to, in the end, favour with, side with the festival it's in league with. More stuff about poisoning here.
Ah, Ishiki. How can I help you?
I'm looking for Kuali, the son of Kabil.
That poor boy. Chimali, one of Kukulkan's thugs, is holding him in a cell up at the market, waiting for the Ahau to come to punish him.
Thank you.
Be well, Ishiki.
Okay, a bit more information. Ishiki. I thought they were suggesting Ishiki were like gods or creatures in the area or something. Why am I being called Ishiki? I want Lara to fill in even more information, to be honest here. I mean, I think that's one of the issues I have with Paititi in this game, where it's that they throw a bunch of stuff at you, and it all feels really authentic and, like, careful and nice and sweet, but I also kind of... I don't get most of it, you know? It comes and it gets explained so fast. But yeah, so we can continue along the quest. I still, realistically, I want to get up towards that merchant. So what I'm going to do is I am going to highlight that relic. And as we walk... Oh, there's a monolith here. As we walk to... When we get to it, we'll know we're right next to the merchant. But yeah, Grinch, good movie. Jim Carrey works really well in it. I can see how later he became like Dr. Robotnik or whatever. Because the whole like... heavy visual acting and, you know, exaggerated movements works well when he's in a big
Difficult
suit.
to make out. People settled between two rivers. They weren't alone. However, these outsiders don't appear dangerous.
Oh, okay. So who are these people that the people of Paititi allowed in from the outside? Now, you might think instinctively Dr. Dominguez, Trinity, that level of stuff. I won't totally discount that. I'll leave you to wonder a little bit for yourselves. Hello, miss. Man, this whole episode's ended up being around Paititi here. We are going to do the main story in a second.
Uchu? Really? What happened?
I shouldn't gossip, but he and Kabil were arguing. They kept their voices down, but you could see the anger rising off of each of them.
Okay, love. Let's see. The main story's up here across the river. We want to take a right and essentially work our way up the hill somewhat. I think this is where we first toured, isn't it? This is where... These guys won't let me through, I'm pretty sure.
Halt! No one may enter.
Oh, I liked Lara's expression there. She looked genuinely like a bit flinchy and a bit cautious. Okay, so there's a temple location here. Alright, and that's off on the right. You guys might want to remember that. That will obviously be important. Probably sooner than you might expect. It's good to see it a little bit earlier than we'll actually be going there.
My wife is very ill, as are many others. A sickness brought by the outsiders. Someone should do something.
I think all this stuff about the sickness coming in from the outsiders is good too, because I think what the writers, the studio, whatever, what they're trying to do is make you think about the original exploration of the New World and how so many native populations, not necessarily just in South and Central America, but in North America too, famously so. You know, we brought all these European diseases over there. Well, I say we. And wiped all those people out.
Hello, Ishiki. Beautiful animals, aren't they? Llamas? So gentle. Even the wild guanaco in the wilderness, they love to be petted. The gods approve.
Something about petting farm animals I'm not too into. Oh god, guys. I saw the grossest thing on the internet like 2 nights ago, and I can't get it out of my head, okay? Now I'm going to share this story in the hopes that one of you looks this thing up, okay? Because I want it to affect you the same way it's affected me. And I warn you, this is it won't be disgusting for me to describe, so don't worry. But it is one of the most... I've seen a lot of disgusting stuff on the internet, you know. You spend enough time on the internet, you'll see all sorts of stuff, okay? And I'm pretty desensitized to things. But for some reason, this video really is so gross, okay? You can find it on Reddit somewhere, right? Reddit WTF probably. And it's simply a farmer getting bogies out of a cow's nose, okay? But they are huge. And he's like digging in there with his bare hands. And it looks really relieving for the cow. But it's such a long video and it just keeps going. In the end, they like essentially like... I'm going to use the word syringe. It's not really a syringe. There's no needles or anything involved. It's not, you know, it's basically just a plastic tube. They're like trying to pull them out because they're dug in there. It's unbelievably gross. And I was watching this video thinking I should turn this off. Why haven't I turned this off? It felt like it went on forever. And then, like, after he got the nostril sorted out, he went to the other nostril. And I realised I was only halfway through the video. Anyway, I managed to tough out, watch the whole thing, thinking this is unbelievably gross. But also, you know, it's like that popping thing where it's like you look at it and it looks relieving. It looks like it's probably the ultimate relief for this cow. I watched it and I can't get out of my head now. I really can't. I keep thinking about my own nose and my own airways and like how clear I am or how bunged up I am. I'm not going to lie. It's encouraged me to brush my teeth an extra 2 times the past 2 days just to get that like minty feel in there and to have nice clear sinuses. And I keep seeing... So we just saw those llamas there and it made me think of that goddamn cow again. All right, anyway. Proficient Yucatec monolith. Are we proficient yet?
This describes something nearby.
We are.
Canals bring water to the arid parts of the village, and
So
they
anyway-
washed me away.
So it's literally just a thing about cow bogies. That's it. All right. And look, we should all know that farm animals are gross. I mean, realistically, it's the most wild thing. And it sounds so not that gross, but trust me. All right. Canals bring water to the arid parts of the village, and they wash me away. This one I've done before. Unfortunately, I'm going to be a bit of a letdown here. I don't fully remember the solution. So here are the canals. I see we're standing on one. They bring water to the arid parts of the village. And they washed me away. I'm going to find one more nest of condor feathers somewhere as well. Like that nest. Does that count?
All full up. Can't carry any more.
Well, that's just a feather. So if we craft an arrow, we should be able to pick it up. Does that not count? I think we've already done that. Okay, wait. So look, here's water on a canal. It's flooding along. It's flooding along. Let's follow the canal. Follow the canal. Down here. Down here. Down here. It's gone into this pool. The pool is in range. Let's assume that the pool overflowed at some point. Oh, there it is.
Should be helpful.
Nice. I'm pretty proud of that. That's pretty good. I'm not just full again. Brilliant. Christ.
Do kids don't authority where you come from, Ishiki?
I think it's part of growing up, pushing boundaries. Are they in danger?
No. The guards threatened, but when they were young, they threw rocks at guards too.
Makes me think of Lara climbing up on her mansion again there. Alright, come on. We gotta go up to this relic. We gotta get to the merchant, and then we'll go continue the main storyline. Paititi is a big area, and I kind of really like the idea of not montaging too much of it. I like the idea of like just this natural exploration.
Have you come here to escape the bustle of the city? I swear, it gets louder and more crowded every day. The people are changing as well. They desire more and more, be it food or clothing or jewelry. Their eyes dart inside the homes of their neighbors, longing for the items they see. No one seems to be able to find contentment with what they have. It's too much. Sometimes I dream of sneaking away, just getting into one of these boats and paddling up the river. I would do that, but this place is all I've ever known. It would be a huge decision. I think I'll need to keep thinking about it. Thank you for listening. I feel as though a cloud has parted.
That's a sweet conversation, but it's also a bit weird to think she would just say all that to a stranger. It's kind of nice. I like that. You know, it makes us think about another facet of isolationist living, primitive living. Are people better when they have, you know, more simple aspirations? Is there less envy? Is there less bitterness? Coveting that which you do not need. By the way, if I go back into that thing, is that guy still hanging from the rafters? This is the room, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. It's a different room. But still, I wonder if that guy would still be up there. Cast out, know the minds of the gods. Can we read this one yet?
Can't quite make the dialect out.
Not quite. Proficient isn't enough. We've got to go further with that. We're very close to where we want to be here now. Looks like on the right of this building, maybe. We have to flee the city. No, we're going to be fine. Hello.
It is busy today. Kukulkan may have promised we'll thrive, but many make their own offerings.
Have they indeed? Okay, so... Well, maybe it was through that building. Oh, no, here we go, round the back. This is definitely a place we've explored, because we've examined that before. Well, I'm so confused right now. It must be in the building, surely then. I think something flagged up, though. When I was walking towards this, I was thinking, don't go in there. That's like a story thing, or a place we've been before. Oh, here we go. Here's a merchant. Sir.
Are you Pisco the Dead?
Oh no, what?
At last, Pisco.
Oh, it's him.
Are you also dead, Ishiki?
No. So you are Pisco the Dead?
I am Pisco, servant of the gods.
I'm Lara.
Lara. Nice name, Lara. You are not dead.
Neither are you.
Oh, but I am. As a child, I was to be sacrificed. I was brought to the mountain. The ritual was completed, but...
But you survived.
Only my body. I am dead to all my friends and family. I live by the offerings that are left for me.
I met a boy who says Pisco stole his dice.
Taki? He's the son of a very arrogant noble. He insisted we play a game. He lost. I don't have many things, but I won those dice fair and square. If you want, I'll play you for them. Do you want to play a game?
What's the game?
Talk to 5 people who have been cast out. Hear their wisdom and tell me why Taki lost, and I'll give you the dice.
I can do that.
I remember I have done this, by the way. This is the bit of the... I've never spoken to the 5 people, but I have done this much of the quest before. And I remember the first time I ever did this, I thought, oh, are we going to get a mini game? Because, like, the first time I played this, I didn't know how long Shadow of the Tomb Raider was going to be. I didn't know how expansive it was going to be. And I was, like, readying myself to have to learn something. But, no, it's just go talk to some guys. I do love this concept, though. What's he going to say if I press F again?
Need only an ear to share their stories.
I do love this concept. This it's a fun analysis of like what death is, right? Because there are different. I mean, I've talked about this before. There are lots of different ideas of death. You know, there is your physical body, but there's also your memory, your legacy. You know, are you truly dead as long as people are still talking about you? If you're still affecting the world, like if your concept affects the world, then you're not really dead in a lot of ways. You know, and when you look at like people of history, powerful figures, celebrities, even when you look at like YouTubers and stuff, especially like I think I'm actually a fairly good example of that. Like as someone who, you know, I don't go on about super personal stuff. I don't have a face cam. I don't do certain things. I'm more of like, I'm not actually a person really, am I? I'm like just I'm more conceptual than that, I suppose, in a way. Or like WoodenPotatoes is conceptual in a way. And that, you know, the real me could die, but if those videos were still going on, it would continue to impact the world in the exact same way. You know, what I'm trying to say is there are separate ideas of how someone affects the world can die. And here you've got actually built into their cultural beliefs or whatever, that they seem to understand that very well. That, you know, his physical flesh and whatever can still be around. You'll feed him, keep him alive. But he's been socially isolated. He's not allowed to form connections or bonds with anyone. And is essentially dead. You know, he's dead in the reverse way. What we usually experience in the Western modern world is somebody dies bodily, but we continue thinking about them. You know, we have a funeral for them. They show up in picture albums when we have meetings with the family. You know, we'll say their name, blah, blah, blah. This is the reverse of that, you know. His body's still here, but everyone has completely shunned him and pushed him aside, which, you know, you can look at as primitive and barbaric and cruel or whatever. But I also like the depiction of him as having come to terms with it, because, again, I think people are very adaptable. And especially when you look at very isolated, very primitive, very distant cultures and understandings of the world, people can be very malleable. It's quite cool. I really do think it's really cool. It's a nice little analysis of how interesting people can be when they are separated as a whole society. Here we get good. A lot of Yucatec here from a Paititi map.
Paititi is said to be one of the oldest games in America, played by all walks of life. Players were known to gamble all of their worldly possessions over a single round, from blankets and precious stones to their homes and even their family's freedom. The god of art and games, Mackerel Shocktal, is considered an active participant in the game, responsible with bestowing offerings upon the winner. So much on the line for a simple game. Some things never do change.
I do not envy Camilla Luddington for this. Mackerel Shocktal. I mean, I have to assume that in the studio she had experts teaching her how to say half of this stuff. But this is nice. You know, it's like when I did the audiobook, there were random words there. You'd be surprised, honestly, how often, you know, when you're reading, you'd be surprised how easy it is to just like gloss over a word you don't quite know how to pronounce. You get the gist of what it means through context or whatever, and you just move on. And then when you actually do have to enunciate and get it perfect, or try to get it, which is what I tried. I'm not saying I was perfect, but I tried. Suddenly, you're having to look a lot of stuff up, and this game would have been a nightmare for that. It also makes me think of like years ago, I did some voice acting for an Oblivion mod, which was rebuilding the world of, you know, re-implementing Vardenfell from Morrowind into Oblivion. And so they wanted all the dialogue from Morrowind was going to be voice acted now to be like the Oblivion's questing system. And I provided a bunch of stuff. I worked really hard on it. It all got cut in the end. And they never told me why or whatever, but I'm pretty sure if it wasn't the mic quality, it's because I was mispronouncing a bunch of stuff, like lore stuff. And, you know, if you're doing that, if you don't have that oversight, if you're working on your own, You're going to submit a bunch of stuff and they'll say, oh no, this isn't good enough. And Morrowind was full of things in a similar way. This is weird. Oh, it's the chest. But we need a lockpick. Okay. Okay, alright. Wow, Jesus. What a tangent we've been on there. So there's the 5 people we can speak to. So that whole time I thought he was a merchant. And it was just a quest objective location. So where is a merchant? Is that a monolith? It's a mural. Oh my god, guys. There's a locked monolith. Do you know what? Honestly, do you know what? Let's get this relic, and I'm going to go to that camp. I'm going back to Kuwakyaku. I'm going to go back to Kuwakyaku, and we're just going to sell our jade there. Yes, yes, yes. You have to flee the city. I know, it's all terrible. There's the campsite. We can fast travel from, but there is a relic. Somewhere in those mountains. Let's see real fast here. If we come here, we might be able to climb up in some way. Or enter a cave. Okay, I think we're going to go this way and then maybe through the house or something. This is a nice little llama pen here. I love the paint on the walls and stuff. Oh, look, we can pet them. Hello. You got any bogeys? Honestly, if anyone watches that, you've got to leave a comment and let me know. I don't know what exactly you would say. I'm sure there's nothing fascinating to add to this discussion. Just, oh, it was gross, probably. But, you know, it'll make me happy. Oh, this is weird. How do we get in there? All right, that'll be one for the montage. That's probably like there's a little tunnel of water that we swim through or something in the corner of someone's house. I said the fat one. What am I paying you for if you can't follow basic instructions? Okay, so. Campfire up and around here. Quickly, we'll sell our stuff, and then we will campfire. We're not going to return to this exact part of the city. We'll go to the other half of the city, the one that is closest to our objective. So there you go. I mean, Christ, they even mark the merchants on the world map. You know, they don't put all the icons on there when you're looking over a region you're not currently in, but they do put the merchant one there at least. I assume this guy will buy jade just as much as anyone from Paititi will buy jade. Dude, you once Googled biggest booger world record and it was not pleasant. Really? I mean, what would compel you to Google that? I don't know. I'm assuming there you're getting a human response rather than an animal response. I mean, Christ, I don't want to talk about this too much. It was just a tiny little comment, really. But there is no way a human could produce what that cow produced. I'll tell you that for nothing. Well, you got to consider they're bigger animals. It's always fun to think about that stuff when it comes to, like, prehistoric animals and dinosaurs and things. Do you know what I'm mad about? I'm thinking so much about, like, futurology lately and all the kind of crazy ways in which the world is advancing. We've talked a lot about AI. I've even seen now AI created 3D models. I mean, totally wild. And, like, stuff about translation software on people's phones. Like, actual Star Trek level universal translation kind of stuff, right, going on. What was I just thinking about there? Oh my god, I've completely just talked myself off topic. There was something about the future that I was going to say. How did I get from cow bogies to the future? Oh, yeah. And do you know what I'm disappointed in? Why have we still not cloned a mammoth at this point? You know, I was hearing about that as a little kid. It's been 20 years now. How is that not happening? Okay, sell. Okay, so we have gold ore here that we can sell for 50 gold pieces each. And we're maxed out on it, 75 of them, okay? So it's only here to be sold. So I'm going to max it out. So that's 3,000 gold we can get from that.
For both of us.
And then here we've got jade. We've got 40 jade. So we can max that out as well. We get 4,000 from that. Now we're also maxed out on cloth, hardwood, feathers. I mean, we're maxed on everything. I mean, it's nuts, isn't it, really? It's not like I've tried. I mean, Christ, we're maxed on eagle feathers. But whatever. Now that we've got 10,000 gold pieces, let's just make some purchases, because why not? All right. Pistol ammo. Not that I've ever ran out of pistol ammo, but fine. A pistol sight increases our zoom factor.
Excellent choice.
Thank you. I think it's an excellent choice too. Here we have some hide boots of Urku. Boots worn by a scout or a hunter. Let's just buy those.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Requires crafting restoration at base camp. That's fine. We'll do that later. Oh my god. Okay, and we're just a couple of pennies shy of being able to buy a GFRAL. So let's sell... Oh, no, not that. I didn't mean to click it that way.
Excellent choice.
Alright, so there we have it. So we'll buy this this rifle. And we'll equip it.
Deal for both of us.
Because why not?
I'm always ready to do business.
Thank you, sir. Well, we've nearly bought out all your stock. By the way, I do believe that that's the most I've ever bought from that guy on any playthrough of this game ever. Let's jump into as much of that mud as possible. Because I can't jump once I'm in there and I can't roll. Okay. Inventory. Outfits. Evening Stars boots. Here we go. The hide boots of Urku. Boots worn by a scout or a hunter. Engaging enemies stealthily increases the wearer's experience. I'll craft them. But if I try to wear them, okay, as you can see here, unfortunately that puts us back into the tactical adventurer top. Like I can do a mix and match here. See, that's the tricky thing about this game. I think that there should be more of the upper body, lower body gear than there is full body. Full body is less customizable and slightly less interesting, but it's the full body that they went crazy with. Anyway, so we got that, and then we just bought a new rifle. This one here hits like a truck at 20 miles per hour. This is a powerful assault rifle, but with a very low rate of fire. So let's just spend a bunch of resources tearing this up, and I will equip this. And we'll use it here. A muzzle brake. I do want to increase my accuracy. That looks like a lot of new accuracy. Rate of fire I won't worry about too much. Reload speed is always nice. So I'll double up on that. Oh, triple up on that. And now we're out of resources. But we're doing better here. Okay, so that's good. And then let's click the tick. So there we go. We have that equipped now. As far as everything else... We still don't have any non-DLC weapons for any other category right now. So we'll leave that there. Okay, good. So there we have it. Fast travel. To this base camp right here. Sorry about the waiting there, Unuratu. Had a full hour there of exploring the city and grabbing stuff and talking nonsense. But trust me, guys, this is a good pace. This is the right way to do this because... if we just did main story, just a couple of sequences more, we'd just suddenly be at the end and it'd be like, oh god, what? You know, it's nice. We got to weave it in, all right? We got to treat the main story like our global cooldown, and we got to dot in all these other moves as we go along. Oh, we're still in the weird outfit. I assumed that when I loaded into the city, it would take this away from me, because I assumed it wasn't legal. But it's fine. Oh no, not that one. Come on, engage your brain. Inventory. Outfits. Let's pick another new one now. So the one you just saw me in was this one. No, not exiled. You just saw me here in the Chica battle dress. Let's go over to the scales of Q now. And that still leaves another 2 for the town. So lovely. Okay. And there is an easy little relic en route we can grab. So this one's the Jonah Cave, actually. Weirdly enough, I thought that whole place we were exploring earlier was the Jonah part of the map, but I guess it wasn't. Oh, it was just behind us. Huh. See the waypoint? Is that glowing through the cave wall? Is there a left here? No. It must be downstairs. Well, they're all a little bit more complicated than they first look, aren't they? This is this area. You guys remember this, I'm sure. We were just wandering around here. I don't know, that's bizarre, isn't it? Must be a thing where we got to get really low down. Let's ignore that one for now. I mean, they will all... I think at this point, I'm starting to cross that threshold and realise this might be 100%. It's just satisfying to get the relics, you know.
This describes something nearby. A lone sentry stands guard over me and his harvest.
A lone sentry stands guard over me and his harvest. And it's just slightly down here. Careful, Lara. It's a good, easy little roll. Well, there's a lone sentry.
I'm here.
We're not at Unuratu's. We're in a cave nearby. The entrance is marked with a heron and an eclipse.
On my way.
So, of course, this thing about the heron and the clips, by the way, I've been teasing you the whole way through this. There it is, easy peasy. I've been teasing you, and we'll actually get the resources here. I've been teasing you about this eclipse the whole way through. I say that, but we are still full on that wolf resource. And we will eventually have a payoff. Don't you guys worry, it will happen. That's just a basket of flowers for healing meds, which we don't need to worry about. I think this is the cave here. It's quite a subtle little area. Mission giver discovered. No, that's just another mission we can claim. Is it down here and then the entrance to the cave is there? No, that's a ladder. Well, let's climb up it. Well, the one good thing is I think my stomach has settled a bit now. Oh, here it is. I remember this. This was really subtle. I remember my first ever playthrough. I got really stuck here. Well, I won't say really stuck, but stuck long enough to for it to stick out in my mind. Half a decade later. Yeah, half a decade.
Maybe they could provide support. Do you have it?
It was a trap. The box was taken and Unuratu was captured.
We heard. We're working on a plan.
She's being held at the prison by the old temple. Akan led a raid, and was taken too.
We'll charge the bridge that leads to the prison.
It's aggressive. What if I climb up here, free her, and then signal to attack?
That could work. Let's leave scouting the temple in the upper district. You could find your way in.
I'll go talk to him.
We'll have backup ready once you get her out.
Sounds good.
For strength and safety.
Thank you.
So we can wear...
I'll get her out.
I know.
So then what were you tapping her for? What were you worried about? I mean, Lara herself is fairly reckless. I love the idea... Okay, look, we've got the survivor timeline here.
That. The great Sinchichika and the shield of the Age Maker.
Why not?
Listen to yourself. It's a myth.
Unuratu believes it. That's enough for me.
It's a story, Koryenka.
It's real. I know it is.
It's just something our parents told us when we were kids.
No, you're wrong, Kumya. The shield will unite us.
The only things we should trust in to defeat Kukulkan are our skills and our wits.
Well then, seeing as neither are your strong suit, I suggest you get back to your training.
Yeah, this thing about Lara being reckless. I love the idea. Obviously, this is the Survivor trilogy. They'll do another trilogy where this Lara goes on in the continuity, right? I love the idea that the next Trinity, the Unreal Engine 5, the one that we're on the cusp of, whatever's coming next, the thing that really put the kick up my arse and inspired me to finally do this series. I love the idea that that builds to Lara's recklessness, getting her killed or something, in a way that echoes the classic games. I think that would be really cool. And if that is what they end up doing, certainly this game feels like it's been breadcrumbing that already, which is kind of nice. Anyway, yeah, check it out, the new outfit. I guess we'll go to a camp and read about it. DLC here. So this is about the... Did they just say spear and shield? That's the whole East Asian legend, isn't it? I think it's Japanese, actually. Is it Japanese? But, you know, the idea of an unstoppable force and an immovable object, there's kind of like this this fable, this allegory, this little story about a spear and a shield. It's kind of the same thing. And in some of the Final Fantasy games, you find those weapons, and it's kind of a reference to it. It's either Japanese or it might be Chinese. I don't honestly know, because I'm ignorant.
Lara.
Yes?
I am Koryanka.
Unuratu has spoken very highly of you. I was the one who opened the way to the old barracks when Yaaxil was captured. You played a part in that as well. We are sisters of the same cause.
Ah, I see. Your tattoo, are you...
One of the shorn ones, yes. But that was another life. Before Amaru, when we stood for something else.
So what are the shorn ones again?
In favor of his priests. I am all that is left. But I swore an oath. Never take a step backwards in battle. So now I wear the colors of the rebellion. I am duty-bound to Queen Unuratu.
Well, the reputation of the Shorn Ones is well known to be, historically speaking.
Is it? Teach me, Lara. Teach me.
You're too kind.
I heard you speak of Emperor Sinchichika.
Yes, the first Emperor of Paititi. He is Unuratu's ancestor. He made this age everything we see, touch, smell, everything we fight for now.
I've never heard of this shield before, the
shield of the Age Maker. It is the evidence this rebellion needs that Unuratu is the one to lead Paititi into the next age. Inscribed on the shield is the ordination ritual. The ritual will prove Queen Unuratu is the next Age Maker, that only she may create destiny, and not that false god Amaru.
And where is the shield?
Hidden. Deep within the mountain, beyond the path of Huracan.
The path of Huracan?
It is a trial, designed to test all those who seek the shield.
They didn't mention a spear at all, did they?
You've already tried.
That was my mission before Yaaxil was captured. Unfortunately, I had to divert. Since his rescue, the cult knows we're planning something, so... Now I must prepare our fighters, and the shield must wait. Only I fear that if we wait too long, Amaru may get to it first and deny Unuratu's claim.
If Amaru gets the shield, he can unite Paititi behind whatever story he chooses and proclaim himself the Age Maker. He'll remake the world as he sees fit.
Yes.
That can't happen.
I was hoping you would say that.
That's my friend over there with Uchu. His name's Jonah. I'll contact him if I find anything.
I'll stay close to him. Thank you, Lara.
Okay, so this is the next DLC. I don't know. It might be the second one in order. The Path of Huracan. That's literally the name of the DLC. That story's really interesting for me to look. I've got to be careful not to be spoilery here. But I wonder if they have multiple versions of that cutscene based on how early into the game you start it. Just based on some of the things that they were talking about there. Or I wonder if it locks out of availability if you wait too long. I mean, I assume not. By the way, now that we're in the cave, that's clearly where this relic is. Oh, it was right there. It was right next to me. Look at that. What's that whole thing? The easiest way to find something is to just stop looking for it and it will just show up. 100% for Quacher now, a mace head.
A 6-point mace, cast from copper, with an embedded axe blade. A fearsome weapon.
So the word would go through this hoop here, this hole here. This is one of those relics that just... I don't know, maybe it's because it's got a very clean design or something, but this really sticks out of my memory very, very clearly. I think every time I've played this game, I've collected this, and I've always sort of, I don't know, it's struck me in some way. Okay, so yeah, we won't actually do the DLC just yet, but it's nice to introduce this idea. Simple premise, there's a shield, and it will give more, you know, it will lend more credence to the worthiness of whoever has it, Unuratu or Amaru / Dr. Dominguez. So yeah, that's set up. We don't even need a merchant now. That just says mission available. So there's another base mission here too. We got fluent monoliths that we have now. Just everything unlocking all over the place, as you can see. But yeah, let's run on out and let's go to the next. Let's visit the next area of the map now, which has a lot of story for Lara, if I remember. A little wonkily told too. I think, by the way, at this point we are over the hill. Is that the right phrase? The best is behind us. Let me put it that way. For the game, not judging DLCs and tombs and things I haven't done yet though. So you know. But as far as the main story, and I think you'll see why quite clearly on this next mission here. That's clearly the DLC. The entrance to the Path of Huracan. It's behind that waterfall at the lagoon, is it? That's interesting. Instead, I think what we're going to do now... You remember that temple that we got pushed away? I think that might be where they want us to go. Let's go this way, because it seems a bit quicker and easier. I love the kids playing there. In fact, this whole area here of just swimming around in their little farms and things is really nice. Of course, there's probably all manner of nasty vermin and bugs and parasites and things that are living in there that you wouldn't really want to go wading around with. It's not like they've unlocked pesticides. I say unlocked. Developed.
Please, I have barely made enough to offer in tribute.
Tribute to who?
The cult of Kukulkan, of course. They demand half of all profits earned on market day. But if they think I tried to short them...
I understand.
Thank you, Ishiki. Will you trade then?
Look at that again. As soon as you stop looking for something, you'll find it. Okay, so this is this guy. So there's even more stuff now. There's the Mantle of the Sky chest piece, Cantu's boots, increase the carrying capacity of arrows, and 2 new bows, the Atlatl bow and the Serpentwood bow. All well out of my price range. But that's fine.
I'm always ready to trade.
Because we got the DLCs flowing in now, and we've got another whole regular area. I'm assuming I'll come back out of this maxed out. We require the reinforced knife to break into that. Interesting thought. Because it's pretty plain that you could just jump over it, but whatever. Okay, hello sirs. So now that we're in this outfit, okay, when we walk up, they'll see us as one of them, and we'll be allowed to go through, you see? And these guys have been shot down. It's a bit brutal, really. There, he's cleaning that machete, which we had swung at us before.
I urge you to be wary, Ahau. We've broken the uprising, but they are still around. Alone, you are a target.
I'm confident I can deal with any rebel I meet.
Well said. They can't stand against us. Although, they did fight like demons.
They fight for their survival.
It's kind of cool to see the other side of the story now, you know, like what the rebels think of everyone else. Also, by the way, we're dressed as one of the cult of Kukulkan, and that vendor was like, oh, I've got to pay the cult. Ostensibly, he thinks we are the cult here. Maybe he's a lot smarter than this guard, let's put it that way. Or indeed any of these guards that we'll be coming up here to in this little stealthy section.
Soldiers, far more rebels than cultists.
Indeed. But who is better equipped? Who has the resources? Who has the territory? It was barely a fair fight. I agree they were poorly equipped and badly trained. They were overmatched. It's to be expected. Would we fare as well without Kukulkan on our side? See, they put it up to their god, but there's clearly other things going on. By the way, 2 little hints here immediately with a reinforced knife. Do you got anyone want to take any bets what gear we're about to get? Also, by the way, because we're in the hard green here, do we like essentially outrank these guys? To die on the altar to see our queen given to the fires, I would rather meet them than the gods on my terms. See, again, this is a little bit of the game where I feel like bits of the story are missing. I feel like maybe cutscenes or more examination of these rebels fighting has sort of just been glossed over. We're seeing the aftermath of something here. And so the vibe I get playing it is like they're assuming I should know all about it, but you kind of don't. That's a door, I'm pretty sure, that you can open. Either when we finish the whole sequence, we come back through it, or there's a switch or something. What will happen to us? I don't know. The gods will decide our fate. Fools, you attacked a god. What fate do you think you have coming? What fate do you think you have coming? And he says, a false god, quiet or I'll rip out your tongues. This guy just overlooking more dead. Despite how horrible it is here, I think it's very cozy in this room. Sorry. I was just curious if you're going to talk when I walked over to you. That was all. Oh, yeah, a little bit of frame drop here. Little story for you guys. Yeah, that guy got slashed. This area here, back in the summer when I was like setting up recording and I was like looking at the best way to give you guys the graphics and stuff, I was testing settings here because this was the lowest frame rate area of the game for me, and certain setups I had would completely tank it. Like if I put dynamic super resolution too high and stuff.
This describes something nearby.
This is really cool here because
We
every other
stand
playthrough.
back to back, two brothers in arms. I lie at the feet of the one who watches the shaded serpent.
Every other playthrough I've ever done, I haven't been able to read this monolith, I think. On the first time through. Oh, maybe? I don't know. I sort of recognise that circle though. Back to back, two brothers in arms. Is the arm bit a clue maybe? And the thing is at the feet of the one who watches a shaded serpent. So we're going to look for two statues, back to back. One of them will be looking at a snake of some kind. And it's at the feet of that statue. But yeah, I'm happy to report our frames seem pretty good here. Oh, I say that. We get a major star right there.
I should have done something. Now Unuratu is captured. And the other rebels, they'll make an example of them. God, what a mess.
Yeah, because Lara kind of did have a choice to do something there, didn't she? She could have fired, but she was sort of warded off of it by someone else in the environment. Okay, let's see. Have we walked past? No, we're totally in the area for it now. So, two brothers. Well, there's this guy. But he doesn't really seem to be looking at anything in particular. This whole area is quite fun. I don't know how often I've ever been up here. Hello.
Do you think there will be any more of these uprisings? Market day has been completely disrupted.
I'm sure there'll be a solution to this conflict soon.
Well, I hope so.
Okay. We got a Tlaloc vase.
Bulging eyes, fangs. This is Tlaloc, the Aztec god of rain and storms. In his gentler temperament, he's also the god of water and fertility, bestowing life and sustenance. But on the other side of the coin, he's responsible for thunder and lightning, hail, and the other destructive aspects of water, including erosion, affiliating him with caves, pools, and springs. Oddly enough, he lives in a mountain. His bird is the heron, but he's associated also with animals like snails, frogs, and other amphibians.
So this is really interesting, right? This is a Yucatec relic, right? Yucatec being the knowledge and writing and stuff that's around here. This is an Aztec god. So it's like what I was saying earlier. What do the people in Paititi believe? It feels like they've got a bunch of things from all kinds of different eras. I mean, this is Aztec. This has got nothing to do with the Mayan stuff. It's got nothing to do with the Incan stuff. As I said to you guys before, Aztec stuff's quite modern. And again, not very near this area of the world. But here, they've got this, and I assume this is theirs. And again, here is another fertility god. We also hear a heron here. So is it possible the heron is another representative of Yaaxil in a weird way? They're fertility related? Ah, now look at this. That's a statue. That's looking at another statue. So we want at the feet of one of these. One of them's looking at... So they're two brothers in arms. I can't shoot or do anything here, by the way, so... And one of them should be looking at a snake. Well, they're looking at... These two are looking at each other, so that doesn't seem right. Maybe let's move a little bit further up and see what we've got. Well, there's this statue. It says that they're back to back, right? So actually, it's probably these, okay? So these two are back to back. One of them's looking at a snake. Well, I mean, look at it. Look at how easy that is to get. That's someone thought you could just stumble on that. Is that the snake there? Is that the snake head? I guess at least the information's in the game and it makes us think about the environment. This is really cool. I like this whole clue system that makes you look at, you know, the environment design and what they've actually placed around and stuff. Because it would be so easy to just sort of take in the vibe of an area and the atmosphere of an area without actually thinking about the specifics of it. And it's when you think about the specifics of it, you really appreciate the artistry or whatever, you know? Or I don't know, that's how it is for me. Am I wrong?
Lara, your serpent guard disguise is good.
Hello, Yaaxil. This feels so random.
For the prison where they're holding my mother. Innocent eyes will blink at dawn when weakness falls away.
Understood. We'll get her out, Yaaxil.
There's one more thing. Hakan has been captured. He's my friend Kiara's dad. If he's sacrificed,
I'll see what I can do.
That's so funny. Hakan, I've been playing another game this year, Dying Light 2, which was a massive disappointment, a huge disappointment. It's been nominated for the Game of the Year awards on Steam right now, and it so doesn't deserve its place there. But there's a Hakan in that as well. He's a French guy. I actually have his like Steam trading card thing in foil, and I just sold it earlier today for like Steam gems so that I could upgrade my Steam level and blah 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 blah. I don't know, those are all weird features that I just sort of look at out of moderate curiosity. Look at this butcher here. Oh, we can actually take a bit of fat. Hopefully that's not stealing. Well, do we care about stealing from these guys? I think the assumption is that these guys are all cultists, you know? By the way, what do you guys think about how they're all dressed? You know, they're very revealing, right? With the male outfits, some of them. You know, I don't know how to describe it. You know that underwear that you see, like, where it almost looks like a male thong? There must be a word for it. I don't know what it is. You see that all the time, but all the women are always just very modestly. Because I think it would have been quite authentic to have a... I'm not just saying this, right? But I think it would have been quite authentic to have a bunch of them shirtless, right? And I mean, this is a gory adult game. Would it really have been so bad? But I mean, I don't know. There's always that prudish layer to like a lot of American media, I think. Or maybe that's just going down a path that, frankly, debauched gamers probably are best staying away from, and maybe that's fair. Okay, well, nothing much really here. I mean, I could tap Survival Instincts just to sort of see. This is another side quest over here. Oh, it is.
Girl, get away from that door. Your rebel father will die for his actions.
Papa, I love you.
That must be Kiara, the girl Yaaxil mentioned, which means Hakan is in that cell. I've got to find a way to get him out.
Okay. Oh, in the live chat, Rocker, you say the voice audio is a little bit quiet. Is that true? Okay, I can turn that up. Thank you for mentioning that. Well, I mean, it's maxed out. What I can do is turn those down a bit, so it's comparatively higher, and then I can bump the whole thing globally up by a few. You'll have to tell me if this ends up sounding terrible, but the balance should be a bit better now. Alright, well, so we want to get in this. That's not a side quest, is it, though? That's just something we want to... Can I just pull this?
It's too heavy. I'll need to find some help.
Oh, interesting. I don't remember this sequence here.
Forgive me, Ahau, but are you not concerned?
Concerned? About what?
Kukulkan has been collecting so many people for sacrifice lately, and not just rebels that well...
You feel there is too much death?
I know what must be paid to the gods to keep the sun from dying, but...
You needn't worry. This wave of death will end soon. Trust me.
I like this. We get to see some of their misgivings, you know, from even within. And it's interesting as well, because people will be scared to say and admit that stuff, you know. You're either with us or against us kind of, you know, extreme hysteria that kills critical thinking. Makes people hide. Alright, well, whatever. I think I've never been in here. Surely there's some kind of item here for us. Oh, another treasure chest. Well, that's good. That'll mark that on the map for us to return to at another point. Oh, by the way, also, you know, the montage I did at the start of this episode, I could have gone back to Kuwakyaku and stuff and gone through that shotgun barrier as well, and the couple that we've seen. But I figure I'll save that for a little bit later.
Only the exalted and knowing may enter this sacred ground.
Innocent eyes will blink at dawn when weakness falls away.
You may enter.
So we give them a code. And we can get into the sacrifice chambers. If you thought it was grim seeing the victims of a battle a second ago, it's going to get a whole lot more grim in here. Two more guys guarding.
How long are you going to maintain this charade of rebellion?
It's Dominguez.
Until we succeed, and you're no longer a threat.
And Unuratu.
You say this?
Amaru, remember who you are.
I am one of you.
Yeah. Is that why you had me arrested?
If my brother was alive, rest his soul.
Yeah, he will think this bickering is a waste of time. Come home.
I am home. This is home. Unuratu, dream for a moment. How will Paititi prosper when Dawn comes in a world without threats coming from the outside?
Aren't you such a threat? Remake the world? We all create destiny, together as we are.
Everything I've ever done has been for Paititi. Everything! When it was divided, I unified it! I am the only one who sees the real threat here.
You come and go as if your life here is optional.
Yes. I have lived the outside world, and I have seen what's to come. Every day, it encroaches. Paititi will not survive its invasion. Everything we are will be taken or destroyed.
Well, then we must fight for it together, according to the will of its people.
By restoring the sun. That will only ensure Paititi's safety for a moment. But then, it doesn't protect us from discovery, invasion. Our destiny is to be doomed. No! No, we must be bold, decisive. Act with me. I need your intelligence, your resilience in my world.
A world ruled by the cult of Kukulkan? Or should I say Trinity?
If it's control you want, you can have it. Just help me now ensure Paititi's safety, and then, by all means, you can govern it as you wish. I will give you the throne. I will do it.
No. I will find the box and restore the sun. May its light be your judge.
Why do you think so little of me?
I really think...
Back to herself.
I really think he's a great character, really. I think he's super well acted, really well written.
You can send me back, but I will never betray your people.
He's incredibly convincing.
We'll just fail them. The box is gone. A missionary, Andres Lopez. He stole it 400 years ago.
Ooh, Lopez. I told you. It's important.
You just wasted your life searching in the wrong place.
That line's weird. Didn't she suggest before she had no idea what it was and didn't care to know when we first met her, when Lara first met her? So what, was that all a bluff, a lie, or is that just bad writing? I can't quite get my head around that. I really like Dominguez, right? He's too many characters in one. The Trinity connection sucks, right? But the rest of the characters is really good. I find him incredibly convincing. And, you know, he's too convincing, really. That scene, I think, doesn't work on a lot of levels for Unuratu's characterization. Because, to be honest, I don't buy her skepticism of his plan. I mean, what is all that crap she's going on about? Oh, according to the will of its people. He has the will of a bunch of his people, you know? She's like, I just don't buy that she wouldn't be convinced by him about these outside threats and so on any level. The only bit that I do buy about her, like, motivation is that she's concerned about the Trinity influence, and that, like, what she really doesn't like is this his plan or is it Trinity's plan? And it's like, but then he's the head of Trinity, so, I mean... that kind of breaks that as well. But I get the idea that she would resist him for the Trinity thing. And that, in theory, is enough to side her with Lara. But see, I think that the writers copped out. I think they tried to have their cake and eat it too. Because I think the story they've written here, Unuratu essentially would be all right with everything he's saying except Trinity. And in that case, she's not a very nice person. She's not necessarily, you know, she's only kind of got a flimsy reason for siding with Lara instead of him. And then maybe her tied up history with the brother, you know, and the fact she loved the brother and all that. If they really did just do that, the one convincing part about it, if they just rested everything on that it was the Trinity thing, it would make her look a bit, she'd be a bit, and I think the writers were scared to have a character like that. I think they wanted to make her really good and really nice, and I think people wanted to love her. And I think that's insincere storytelling, and it kind of frustrates me about this game when I see that, you know. They cobble together so much stuff to try and hide the fact that if these characters are acting truly naturally and realistically, they wouldn't have such a nice character there, but that's fine. At least it'd be authentic. I would be really gripped by that, you know. I don't need to love every character. You shouldn't force me to love every character by like trying to cobble together a bunch of sort of half excuses for motivation. I don't know. That's my take on it. But yeah, I really, really do like Dominguez. And so yes, he sort of let the cat out of the bag there. He knows that there's this guy Lopez who took the box, and it makes sense, right? Lopez has been here forever. You think he wouldn't have checked that room we were in the last part? And I just remembered a second ago, I said, oh, we're probably over all the best bits of the game. I lied. Actually, one of my favourite parts of the game is coming up. And it's very different. You guys might think, oh, it's all jungle from now on, and it's all Mayan and Yucatec and blah, blah, blah. But no, it's going to change gears. Would you believe me that there's a whole other town that we're going to? And it's genuinely a really cool thing. So we got a mast of Zetkopoka. We'll let Camilla say that.
Black and yellow stripe across his face marks this as Tezcatlipoca, a very important god to the Aztecs. Let's see if I can remember everything he was associated with. Jaguars, hurricanes, the night winds, the night sky, earth, the north, sorcery, beauty, temptation, leadership, war, strife, interpersonal conflict in general, and of course obsidian and divination. His right foot is often replaced with a piece of reflective obsidian, which the Aztecs used as mirrors, and these mirrors figured in shamanic rituals and prognostication. Tezcatlipoca literally means smoking mirror.
Tezcatlipoca. I love this thing here so much. I think there's so much interesting stuff going on here. First of all, I get the impression of the writers, you know, doing their research, reading some books, going to Wiki, you know, doing whatever, reading about this area of the world to support this game. And they wanted to do this really great thing where they taught you a lot about this area of the world. And they came across this god, and they're like, what on earth is this? How do you even summarize this god? It's about a million things. So then that's what they wrote into the game itself. They were like, this is ridiculous. So let's have Lara recognize that it's ridiculous. They make Lara look like a savant here, probably unrealistically so. Remembering all this stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm just jealous of her incredible memorization abilities here. But you know what I really like about this too, okay? This is going to be one of the stupidest things I've ever said, some of you guys will think, right? But I like it. This makes me think of like comic books and like overly bloated, shoddily written fiction in the modern age, right? Which is what comic books is. Low art, bullshit, popcorny nonsense, right? Where you'll have like, so for comic books, you'll have like a superhero, right? And over time, they'll get this power and then this power and then this power and this power because it's just low rate fiction and it just builds up and up and up and up. And I like to think that the Aztecs, that kind of body of canon that builds up, you know, over Marvel or DC or whatever you want, right? It doesn't even have to be superhero-based media. I like to think of how real-world mythology has done similar things in the past, and that's what this is like to me, you know? This is like enough years have passed, people kept trying to make stories about this guy and kept trying to make him exciting, and in the end, he's just got a billion things he's associated with. Like, I feel like it's the exact same storytelling impulse over the years that has affected that in the same way. Oh, there was another thing I could enter. Is this a map? No, it's a document. No one in, no one out.
In an effort to reduce the possibility of disease entering Paititi, Emperor Shika hereby temporarily bans all citizens from exiting the city. Anyone currently beyond the city's limits will not be authorized to re-enter. Paititi is still recovering from a recent epidemic, and any other outbreaks could tip the already precarious balance. By order of the cult of Kukulkan.
This is interesting, because my assumption was that no one was really coming in or out anyway. That was their way of life, to be isolationist. But now they're suggesting that's something that's newly been enforced by the evil cult. But I mean, in all reality, without a culture here of people who specifically want to resist leaving. They would have been discovered. By the way, look at this chamber. This is exactly, look at this. A tiny bit of gameplay and 1 million pickups in here. Walk 2 steps, get a pickup.
In order to not upset an already delicately balanced situation, all members of Trinity will adhere to the following rules. Limit excursions in the city. If leaving the compound is unavoidable, always wear the cultist uniform. Do not carry modern weapons. Avoid direct contact with Paititians when possible.
I really like this. When we entered this place, you know, Lara's like this Caucasian little white girl, right? Doesn't really look like any of the natives, doesn't move like any of the natives, doesn't talk like any of the natives, and yet she puts on this outfit and they just let her in, you know? Wouldn't she look suspicious? The answer is no, because Trinity has been doing something similar the whole time and people have learned not to question it. Lots of outsiders have been doing the same goddamn thing. A priest's journal.
Kukul Khan bid me to join the ranks of the priesthood. The pantheon of Paititians is a patchwork of several cultures. I'll need to study their rituals, their beliefs, and learn how we can use their own gods against them. The ones from across the water are devious and intelligent. I do not doubt the city will soon be united under the control of Kukul Khan.
So here you go. This is what I was talking about before. They had an Aztec god. I mean, this is so cool, really. I wish this game was longer, or there's some, I don't know, we would have to really think about it to analyze what it is. But I think there's such a cool idea here. A hidden city, a lost civilization, and they have a patchwork of all the most fascinating and cool things of various ancient civilizations in this area of the world. You could call that like lazy or whatever and be like, well, you know, why don't you just do one game honoring each civilization? Why do you have to take an entire continent worth of ancient culture and bung it all in together? I kind of get resisting that, but I think it's a cool idea as well. And it's just not really emphasized much in the game, is it really? Like, you have to think quite carefully about it and pay close attention to the relics to really realize that's what's happening. That thing about the people across the water, by the way, what did they say? What date do you think that was written? That's not talking about the conquest of the New World, is it? That's much more new. It's talking about the cult of Kukul Khan is new, is it not? Right, well, we have a relic and a treasure chest with a lockpick and stuff back out where we came from. Let's not worry about that. Let's get out of the back of this temple. This episode's gone on quite long now, and I didn't mean to do that. Oh, we got a cache down here as well. You know, to be honest, I thought that this episode we were going to get to this temple in after my little montage thing. I thought we were going to do that about 5 minutes and then move on, and we'd get through this really early. But I mean, we did a whole tomb and stuff that I didn't know existed. Got a good amount of dialogue. Oh, conspiracy! A report from Trinity.
The city's priests, or shamans, if we mean to differentiate between the heathens and those who toil in the Lord's light, were the first to come forward, the first to listen, to hear of the state of the outside world. And thereupon, several of them felt completely cheated and begged to be baptized. They reasoned rightly. Their worship and trust was misplaced in the traditional deities of these lands. For as one stated, if your God has brought you here, across the world, then he truly must be the most powerful, and only a fool would not bow to such a being. We will teach these shamans English, and have them teach the population of Paititi.
So remember, I mean, the one quite elegant thing about this story is if they're trying to do like a modern parallel of the age of the conquistadors and, you know, all these Roman Catholic and, you know, Christian people coming across and enforcing their new beliefs. I mean, literally, they're mirroring that in the current story, because Trinity, if you remember from the last game, are all about that themselves. So that's pretty entertaining, I think. That's a cool, nice little thing. And again, it's kind of a bit buried, but almost the whole game could have been about that to a certain degree. I mean, I suppose there wouldn't have been much motivation to do a totally anti-Christian video game here. That might invite a bit of controversy or criticism that they didn't really want. Okay, what am I doing in this trench? I thought that the way out was going to be through this, but I guess I'm wrong. Or maybe we had to break through a wall. I seem to remember breaking through a wall. Oh god, Lara, can you not actually climb out? There we go. I've never before... Oh my god, that was buggy. I've never been stuck in this room. I'll tell you that. What, another relic here. Learned a lot of Yucatec. That's good. A depiction of the Aztec god Tonatiuh.
This is Tonatiuh.
Tonatiuh.
The sun god and ruler of the Aztec heaven, which they called Tolan. He was literally the sun itself. The fifth one, in fact. presiding over the 5th age after the 4 previous sons had perished. The Aztecs believed they had to sacrifice to him regularly, or else he would refuse to move across the sky. He was strongly associated with eagles, unsurprisingly, and was often depicted wearing their feathers and carrying weapons such as arrows and shields, or instruments specifically created for human sacrifice.
Why is it unsurprising he was associated with eagles? Because moving across the sky, is that the thing? So here, do you guys think that like these guys have, because they have like as a baseline an understanding and belief in Cenote, that therefore that worldview enables them to then sacrifice to something like Kukulkan in the same way, you know? One of the existing gods can then sort of be subverted in some way and...
Jonah, I know where she is. I'm going in.
Okay, we're on our way. Did you feel the tremor before?
Yeah, when I was in the Cenote, it was a foreshock. The earthquake is coming soon and we have to hurry.
Yeah, when we get Unuratu out, we'll all go find the box together.
So yeah, it's so easy to forget, but you know, we're supposed to be a bit anxiety-ridden here because there's supposed to be an apocalypse on its way. And yes, it was a while ago we felt that foreshock in the Cenote. So maybe it was just a coincidence. It wasn't like when we took the dagger, but who knows?
I'm sorry. No one may enter.
So here, this is kind of a bit weird. I mean, our outfits got us this far, but now they won't let us enter, you know? And it is a bit weird.
Kukulkan wants the prison completely locked down. No one enters or leaves.
Because in theory, we're going to go into a fighting sequence now. This is a really cool bit of platforming here over the rushing rapids. Really gorgeous, lovely part. And we're going to be fighting. And on replay, this is a weird bit because I'm like, we'll just shoot these guys and cross the bridge. But that's not what we're going to be doing. That's going to be on the next part, though, guys. Before this episode gets even longer, and we get past that threatening 2-hour mark. I'll leave it there. Yeah, next time, fast rushing rapids. Lots of platforming, lots of fighting, more revelations, and we will suddenly not even be around here. I'm deadly serious. We're going to somewhere that really I think will be quite unexpected for a lot of you. Head of the Serpent, 0% complete. Oh no, that's the DLC area, is it? Maybe? Well, we'll see. Anyway, there you go, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Go have fun with the video of the cow, if that's what you're so inclined to do. Thanks to everyone in the live chat. Thomas there saying your favourite part, 2 of your favourite parts of the game are yet to come. Yeah, I definitely know one of the bits you're talking about. Definitely. The other bit, I'm not too sure, unless you really love the ending or it's a DLC or something. But yeah, thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, really, and I will see you on the next one very soon. There's been a lot of content uploaded today with the Final Fantasy video as well. But yeah, I'll see you for more very, very soon. In fact, hold on. Tomorrow's Friday. I'll see you on Christmas Eve. Early in the morning on Christmas Eve will be the next one. I said this in from Final Fantasy, but I'm going to be very busy over Christmas. I'm actually going to be away. There's over a weekend. I'm going to be away for the whole weekend. What I'm going to try to do is squeeze in a video really early before I leave on Christmas Eve. And then when I'm back very late on Christmas Day, I'll try to squeeze in another one. So technically, even through the holidays, I should be able to keep doing a video day. It shouldn't be a problem. I've done it multiple times in previous years. We'll just have to see how it goes. But that's the plan. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed for the 3rd time, and I'll see you next time.